Welcome back. All right, in this class, we'll be continuing with the control flow. Yeah, in the last class, we started the control flow and we mentioned we talked about making comparisons, and that's really the basis of the control flow. So today, we'll be talking about the if-else statements, okay? All right, with the if-else statement, this is what you use to actually control your flow. You know, when you make the comparison, okay, you will now say, if this particular comparison is either true or false, do this for me. If the traffic is red, do this. If the traffic is blue, do this. If the traffic is green, do this. If the traffic is that, do this. If the age is this, do this. If the age is greater than 18, do this. If it's less than 18, do this. So this is the conditions, okay? You check for the conditions before you now do something, all right? So that is it, okay? That's the basis of the if-else statement. So I'm going to show you how it really works, okay? Let's say we want to, okay, let's say we ask the user to give us their age, okay? And we still want to check if the user is eligible to vote, okay? And we remember that the age is 18, so we are going to store the age, okay? The age is equal to 18, okay? And we ask the user for their age, and let's assume that they gave us, let's assume they get their own age, the age the user gave us. I will say user age. The age is 20. Okay, so and we want to check if this user is actually eligible. So we will check if user age is greater than or equal to the age. All right, remember what we did in the last class. We would do this, okay? If the user age is greater than the age, we are going to print you are eligible to vote. You're eligible to vote. Okay, you can see the condition here. We are checking first of all. Remember the comparison we did in the last class. Is this user age, is it greater than or equal to age? Oh, okay. If it is true, we will print out you are eligible to vote. All right. Else, that means when this comparison is false, now whatever that is in the else block would now be printed out. Okay, so else will print you are not eligible to vote. Okay, now let's take a look at this. Okay, let's take a look at this. We made a comparison, okay, and we are saying if that comparison, you know, comparison can either be true or false. The result of every comparison after the evaluation of the comparison can either be true or false. Okay, we are saying if that is true, run the first statement that is in the if statement. If that is true, run that statement inside this if block. Okay. Else, if it is not true, run the second one. So let's check what we get as the output here. Already the user age is 20, so it is greater than or equal to, so it is true. So that means the user is eligible. So when we run, we are going to see you are eligible to vote. Okay, so that is it. Now, anything inside of this open and close parentheses must be evaluated to true. It can just be true like this. This is fine. Okay. Okay. All right. But that is telling us something, because once you say this can be beyond you now. So, but what I'm saying now, this can just be true like this, or it can be false. But basically, it must be an expression that evaluates to true or false. It must be a Boolean expression. Remember when we discussed expression, we said that expression is something that evaluates to a result, okay? Something that has an operand and operands and operators, okay? So it must evaluate to true or false, all right? If I say, if 1 is equal to 3, this is a Boolean expression. Why is it a Boolean expression? Because it is an expression that evaluates to true or false. All right, so it's a Boolean expression. So 1 is, if I'm asking, if I'm saying if 1 is equal to 3, print you are eligible to vote. Else, print the other one. Okay, so 1 is not equal to 3, so it will go to the else block. So the point I'm trying to make here is that anything, whatever you're evaluating inside the open and close parentheses, must be a Boolean expression. It must be a Boolean expression. It must evaluate to true or false. Okay, so that is it. Okay, we can also let me take another example. Okay, let me take another example. Let's check. Let's say constant string, and this is the email. Okay, email of the user, p@gmail.com, and we ask the user for their email, and what they gave us is this. We are going to store it in input email, which is i@gmail.com. So we want to log this user in. So we want to check, before we log them in, we must check if their email is equal to the email they gave us when they were signing up, if it is equal to the email they entered when they are logging in. Okay, so we are saying email equal to input email. Now look at the syntax here. If, after the if keyword, the next thing you see is the open and close parentheses, then the expression you're trying to evaluate will be inside of it. Okay, then opening curly brace, your statements, it can be 1, 2, or 3. You can do plenty statements inside of this open curly braces. Then the else is what will happen if the evaluation is false. Okay, so here, if the email is equal to the input mail, we say you are logged in. You're logged in. Else, you are not logged in. Okay, so when we print, all right, of course it is not equal to, so he will not be logged in. But if it is equal to, okay, if it is equal to p@gmail, all right, if we run this now, it is equal to, so your logged in will be printed out. Okay, okay, now that is it. Now another case is that you might want to check more than one condition. Okay, let's use this. Let's try this. Let's try this. You might want to check more than one condition. Let me try name, and I say name is Paulson. All right, and here I will say if name is sorry. If name is equal to person, now what is inside here now is a valid Boolean expression. All right. This particular name, I'm checking, is this name equal to person? I can also put another statement again. If I said if that is equal to person, else you have the else if statement. All right. You have the if statement. That this is how it works. If statement. Another statement again is name equal to John. You can have plenty of this else if statement. Now, this is when you have plenty things to check. If the name is, you can have plenty comparisons here. All right. Henry. Okay. So if the name is person, I want to do this. Your name is, it can be anything. It can just be anything you want to do. Your name is, depending on the logic of your program, depending on what you really want to do. Okay, but I'm just giving examples here. I can say, if I'm checking if this name is person, I want to print your name is person. Else if the name is John, I want to print your name is John. Your name is John. Else if the name is Doe, I want to print Doe. If the name is Henry, I want to print Henry. So we can do a whole lot of things here. And if the name, if none of these else if statements are correct, then we are going to now say, oh, please, I don't know your name, because none of these, please, I don't know your name. Okay, now the thing is this, okay, when we start writing our program, especially this first section, okay, right now we are dealing on that, okay, that programming language. When we finish that programming language, we are going to develop an ATM machine, a console application that works exactly like an ATM machine. Okay, when we start using this, you see this scenario, this concept, you see them coming up. Okay, so now with this, let me format this code. All right. Sorry if you don't understand what I did. Later you would understand. Okay. So now, if I print this now, of course, the name is person. So which one do you think would run? Is it this one or this one or this one? Of course, it is person. So the first one that is correct, it will print your name is person. So if I go ahead and run, my name is person. If I change this name to be none of all this, it is not John, it is not Doe, it is not person, it is not Henry. If I change it to just Paul, okay, it will tell me I don't know your name, because none of this evaluated to true. If name, we will check the first one. Is name equal to person? No, so it will not print this one. We'll check else if, is the name John? No, it is not John. It will not print your name is John. It will come again. It will come to this one. Is your name Doe? No. Is your name Henry? No. So since none of these ones were evaluated to true, it will not print the else statement. Okay. So when I run, we are going to say, please, I don't know your name. Okay. So this is how it works. All right. This is how it works. Now, we would want to take a look at something we call variable scope. Okay, let's take a look at variable scope. All right, please, I understand if you're confused. I understand if this sounds somehow. Chat me up. Okay, my WhatsApp number is always available. Chat me up. Let me see what your confusion is, and I will help to clear you. Okay, now I do not expect you get this thing 100%, but the thing is that you have to practice. You have the book. Okay, chat me up. I will give you the book. You have to read up. Okay, and while you practice and do this thing often, you will think this thing will get clearer. Okay, so the next thing I want us to discuss is what we call variable scope. Okay, what we call variable scope. Now, we already know what a variable is. So we have three types of variables. Okay, at least for now, I'm going to introduce you to three types of variables. Okay, the first variable is the one we call global variable. Let me say constant string. Okay, and I'll name it, and the variable name is person. I believe by now you all understand what a variable is. Okay, now this is a global variable. What it means is that every code, all the code in this particular file, this our hello world.dat file, every code inside this can have access to it. So it is a global. It is a global variable. Every code can have access to it. Okay, so we also have another one we call the local variable. The local variable is the one you mostly see inside a function. Okay, and I say string integer age is equal to 78. Now, this is a local variable. All right, you can see that is even saying the value of the local variable age isn't used yet. Okay, all right, so this name is a global variable. It is a global variable. All right, we have the global variable, we have the local variable, and we also have variables that are that are inside curly braces. You know, the curly braces, at least you have seen one with the if statement. If um if name equal to Paul, all right, I'm just trying to make an if statement. Okay, if this equal to this, I want to declare another variable inside here, and I will say constant double, and I can say salary is equal to 78. Okay, now this is also somehow it's also a local variable, but the scope, when we categorize these three variables in terms of their scope, all right, the first one here is a global variable. The scope is global. I'm coming to the meaning of what scope is. The scope of this one is local variable, okay, and the scope of this one is inside this curly braces. So now let me explain what scope is. Scope is when you say the scope of a variable, you're actually talking about the extent to which a variable can be visible. How do I mean? Let me come again. I mean the extent to which a variable can be accessible. Now look at this. When we talk about this being the scope being inside this curly brace, it means that you cannot access this salary variable. You cannot access it. That's what it means by the scope. To what extent is that variable accessible? Okay, now you cannot access this salary variable outside of this scope. Now the scope of this salary variable is inside these curly braces. Okay, inside these curly braces. So outside of it, you cannot access it. Now, if I try to print salary, look at what that compiler will tell me. It will tell me that the salary does not exist. Okay, look at it. Because I'm trying to access the salary variable outside of its scope. You can't access it. It's not available. It's not available. But look at the age. Age is inside the main function. Okay, look at the scope. The scope of this main function is from this opening curly brace to the closing curly brace. So that means I can access this age inside of the main function, and it will be good. Look at it. There is no error. So if I want to access the salary, I should access it inside of its scope. Okay, everybody dey your lane. That's what it means. Okay, the salary scope, the scope of this salary variable is inside the if statement. So outside of it, I cannot access it. So that's what we mean by scope. The extent to which you can access a variable, to the extent to which a variable is accessible or visible. So the salary variable is not visible outside of the if statement. The age variable is not accessible outside the main function, but the global variable name is accessible from anywhere inside of this file. I hope you understand this. I hope you understand this. Okay, I hope you understand this. Now, like I said, you have to read up. Okay, watch this video over and over again. Listen to this, play, pause, play, pause. Okay, you're going to, it's just very simple. All right, it's just the scope of a variable. When you talk of variable and talk about their scope, there are three. For now, we have the global. It means that it can be accessible. The scope is the variable can be accessible from anywhere inside that particular file. When you talk about local variable and you talk about variable being inside a function, just like the age variable is inside the main function, it means that it can be accessible. The scope is inside the block, inside the curly braces, we call it block. Okay, anything inside the curly braces is a block statement. Okay, so inside the block, the age is available, the age variable is available inside the scope, inside the main function, because the two curly braces, the opening and the closing, they actually create a scope. Okay, so but the if statement also created its own scope. So inside its own curly braces, the salary is only available inside of it. So that's what we mean by scope. Okay, I believe you get that. Okay, now the next thing we are going to talk about is the switch statement. Okay, the switch statement is another brother of the if statement. Okay, you remember when we said, okay, I think I should have to bring back that code where we said constant string name is equal to person. Sorry, I have to put it, it has to be inside curly braces. Sorry, it has to be inside double quote or single quote. Okay, so you remember when we did this and we did the if else statement, the if else statement. Okay, when we said if name is person, do this, else if, do this, else if name is John, do this, else if his name is equal to, do this. Okay, I think I should just write it again. Yeah, I'll say if name is equal to person, print your name is person. Okay, and else if, do you understand? Else, that means if that name equal to person isn't true, now check another statement, else. All right, else if name is equal to John, print, let me copy this and just change, print name is John. And we can do another else if, can just copy this, else. Now, if none of this is true, then we also check else if the name is Peter, print your name is Peter. So you can have as many as possible, then we'll now do the else. In case all of them, none of them evaluated to true, we just say print, we don't know your name. Please, we don't know your name. Okay. All right. So now this is it. This is the if-else statement. This is the if-else statements. Okay. Looking at this now, you can see that we have we have a lot of if-else statements here. We can replace this with the switch statement. How does the switch statement work? Now this is long. Okay, this is plenty. With the switch statement, I'll just have to write the switch statement under. Okay, the switch statement is, this is how it works. This is how it works. Okay, you use the keyword switch. Okay, and inside the curly braces, you put in your expression. Okay, the expression. Okay. Okay. Now, what's the expression? We are trying to check name. We are trying to check name. Remember, here we are checking, is name equal to Paulson? Is name equal to John? Is name equal to Peter? Okay. Here we are still trying to do the same thing. We say we are switching on the name variable. All right. We are switching on the name variable. Where do we even have? Okay, look at it. We are switching on the name variable. Okay. So we now say, instead of doing the if, else if, how do we do it in switch? We now say in case, okay, but we will not put the in. We will say, but I'm just trying to, understand and make it clearer. Okay, in case, but we are not going to write in case. We just say case. We say case equal to, case, this particular name is equal to Paulson. You now write this, you put a colon. Okay. For me, I like using the putting curly brace. I will not say print. I will not say print your name is Paulson. I will end my statement and I'll break out of that case. You see, sorry, this is supposed to be you, not I. Okay. This is my first case. I'm switching on the variable name. I want to know, I'm checking on the value, and I'm saying, okay, in case the value of name is Paulson, print, do this. So anything that inside these curly braces would be executed. Okay. I can also say, all right, in case, I can have a lot of cases. I can say, in case the name is, sorry, I didn't copy that. In case the name is John, I will say your name is John. Okay, you can see how simple this one is. And I will break. And I can say, in case your name is Peter, and I will say your name is Peter. Then, what of if the name is not Paulson, it is not John, it's not Peter? You will not have your defaults. You will not have your defaults. And you can do whatever you want to do. And I can say I'll print just the same way we did the if-else statement. I will not print, we don't know your name. We don't know your name. Sorry. You can say it. I don't know. Okay. I will have to minimize this so that you can see all the code. Okay. Let me minimize this so that you can actually see all the codes. That's too small. Okay, I don't know how I can minimize. If I minimize it, it will be too small for you to see, but let me try. Okay. Please just try to, I just want us to see the else if statements. I just want to see everything. I just want us to see everything. Okay, what happened to our if statement here? All right, our if statement here is gone, so I'll just have to rewrite it. What happened? Even our variable, our name variable, where is it? Okay, sorry. Okay. All right. So now you can see, I believe you can see the full thing. Here we have a variable name. So we have a variable and the value is person. And we are using the if else statements in the first one. And we are seeing all these things. Okay. If name is equal to person, we want to print this. Else if it is not, if the name is not equal to person, but the name is equal to John, print your name is John. The same thing we are doing here is what we also want to do here. Okay. We are saying, we are looking at case instead of using the if statements. We are saying, okay, we are switching. Okay, the keyword use the switch, open and close parentheses. You put the variable you're trying to switch on. You're trying to check the value of that variable. Then curly braces, everything must be inside the curly braces for the switch statement. Then your cases will not be inside. Just look at the syntax, follow it, and yes, you make mistakes. Okay, you might miss out. Just go back to it, look at how I did it, and write your own the same way. Why, as you practice, okay, you master it. Okay, so you can now, we are having we are checking. The first case is, instead of doing the if, we are not doing case person. Your name is person. If it is true, we break. Okay, so this is how you write it. So for the else, okay, if none of these things is true, we are printing, we don't know your name. So if I go and print this thing, this first one, your name is person, we printed 2 times, because this one would also print and this one would also print. So if I run, okay, let me bring this thing up. You see, it is printed 2 times. You can see this number 2 here. Okay, so but let me remove this if statement. Let me remove the if statement so that we'll just have only the switch statement. So if I think I can now increase this. All right. So if I run this, the name, your name is person, will be printed. If I change this thing to John, then the case, and when it comes here, oh, it will say, this is not equal to person. It will check the next case. Oh, it is John. So it will not print your name is John. So if I run this, it will print your name is John. And if I don't have the correct one, I have here JOH. So none of my cases matches the JOH. So it will just go straight to the default to check all of them one by one and go straight to the default and print, we don't know your name. So this is how it works. All right. This is how it works. We don't know your name. All right. Okay. So this is it. Now, this is already long. I wanted us to discuss the enumerated types, but we'll do that in our next class. Okay. So I want you to practice this thing, practice it. Remember, I'm always available. Chat me up on WhatsApp. My number will be my WhatsApp number will be available for you to chat me. Check the description of this video. And if you're open to mentorship, all right, also contact me. Okay, this is real business. Software engineering, software development is real business these days. If you're really good, if you're willing to put in 2 to 4 hours every day for the next 6 months, I guarantee you that I can help you. All right, I'm not going to give you everything, but I can help you come up to the level that you can start applying for jobs. And we are going to do some projects that will be amazing to be in your portfolio. And when they see, they know that you really know what you're doing. So, but it will need hard work. All right, you need to work hard, and let me take you through this journey. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next class.